Hello! Guys might know me. I am Z from Metal Theory Radio, and this is my on-air sign that my best friend got me for Christmas. Thought I still haven't found a place to put it yet. So this is our brand new podcast. I am Z, and we have our co-host right here. Her name is Jordi, and we're going to be talking about some of our favorite releases of 2025 and other stuff, film, and we're just going to have some fun with it. But we are on a timer like Jack Bauer, so we're going to make sure we get this all in one sitting. So I think we should get started first. Jordy, did you have a disappointments list, or was that only me?
Uh, so I thought about it a little bit. Um, I mean, I just don't want to get my ass kicked. I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe this won't make everybody want to hunt me down and beat me up. Um, Oliver's Neverland was kind of a and also okay, this is going to be quasi contradictory because I have Creator on my list of anticipated bests, and
Yes.
they're on my list of favorites, but I think it's just the placement. That's the only complaint I have as far as disappointments. It's like where the publishing of the albums hit and just from the craziness of last year, which, you and I have talked about a couple of times, how there were like tons of releases and their timing was so quintessential to all this political craziness. And with everything going on, I was anticipating Creator, but it just kind of got flushed with all the stress. And
I feel
when I heard it the first time, I was like, well, good. Like this is deep, this is dark, this has humor to it. And then over time I was more like, okay, well, I'm gonna put this down for a little bit. And it's no offense to the album, but it's like, yeah, there's a time and a place and a setting for this. And unfortunately, with all the political mayhem, it kind of hit me kind of raw, not to word vomit all over that. But that was my only quasi, and it's not even a disappointment. They're one of the greatest bands of all time. So it's just timing, I guess. If you can, hold off on publishing your album until the summer. That's it. That's it.
okay.
Good timing. All right, your
All
turn.
right, well, I got a list. My first disappointment, this really does hurt me, is Gnosis, Geonosis. This is Rio, former Crystal Lake. This is new project. I liked his first two EPs. They're really solid. But as an album entirely, there's just some songs here. Structurally, to me, this album didn't work. There's too much hip hop influence. I mean, if you guys like that, that's cool. It's more hip hop and less new metal, because what I want was something more new metal. But not bad, but not great. And also I felt like his vocals were a little restrained on this album because the guy is a beast. He's one of my favorites. Then followed by that, this is more of not, the album's not terrible, but from a lore standpoint, the new Star Set Stylos, it was supposed to be an EP, but they had to make an album because people were bitching at Dustin, so he made it an album. And to me, it's not emotionally satisfying as the other Star Set releases. Good songs on here, but I think it should have remained an EP. Now, this next one really kills me because I'm been talking to both Disharmonia Mundi vocalists and guitar players for a long time. I've been talking to Claudio and Tori for over off and on for 10 years, and Disharmonia Mundi, The Dormant Stranger. There's a good album on here, but the mix and mastering is just not great. It sounds like it's been mixed and mastered underwater. I can't even listen to the entire thing in one sitting. It kind of hurts my ears. It's coming from a guy who listens to black metal recording in garages. So I don't know. Maybe at some point they'll go back and fix it, but at this moment, I just really wish it was more listenable. And despite the fact I am wearing a Sleep Token hoodie, the new album Even Arcadia was not my favorite. Again, not emotionally satisfying compared to Take Me Back to Eden. But there's some good songs on here, and they still put on a great show live. But those are my disappointments. And Jory, you got your EP list?
I do have my EP list. So I changed it up though.
Okay.
I originally had five, but I feel like I could leave off Recoil and Meteora until I actually take the time to listen to them. But the Wilted EP, Paleface Swiss, which I know how you feel. I know your frustrations. I've heard you. I hear you.
Yep.
But in my opinion, it's like imagine your dread had a heart to heart with your gym playlist, and I need those. Like I need good running music and I need good workout music and it's pulverizing, it's cathartic, it's brutal enough to like reset your biology. Um, that's not for everyone though. I'm kidding.
No, I not nowhere near as good as Fear and Dagger, and still not. But not but worse though than Cursed. That's how I describe that particular EP. Go on.
Okay, so the Genghis Khan EP to end all Genghis Khan EPs, and I talked about this in a bunch of reviews at Metal Insider. But this band really, it's like if Monty Python was handed like Marshall Stack and told them to slay history with riffs. These guys are so funny. They are really comedic. They have a gimmick that older generations can handle and younger generations can play with because we like to rip off people and steal their methods for, guitar and style and plugins and Pro Tools and yada yada, however leechy we get, we're leeches. But
Yep.
that came out on January 7th and it's parody. It's hilarious. It still cracks me up. Lucem Abyssius Tenebrarum, which sounds like a black mass verbatim of some kind, just gothic gloom, kind of like funeral procession and nocturnal masquerade and heavy and groovy and you can dance to it. That kind of jam, which I'm in the mood
Mhm.
for lately. If you can get me to get out of my cryptic mind frame. But then, the other ones I'm not going to detail too much, like the Recoil EP for 2026, like uh pragmatic metal. Um and then I think the other one I wasn't going to really talk too much about was Meteora EP, Dissonance. It's anything symphonic for me is a absolute must. Like I'm obsessed with the symphonic black metal and
Yep.
I don't know, keeping me in my once marching band nerd stasis. So
Yeah. So is that everything?
that's everything.
All
You're
right. Well, my top five EPs in no particular order because they're all great in their own rights. The first one right here, no one's gonna has talked about yet. The band is called Clockwise. The EP is called Gloom. I recently heard it because of the vocalist did a song with a band called Of Ruin, and his presentation and his vocal style kind of remind me of Mitch Lucker just a little bit. And so I decided to check out his band because I was very curious. His name is Casey Needler. I think that's how I pronounce it. And it's more of a metalcore album, but it's still really good. And he actually has a pretty good singing voice too. So, and it's 5 songs. It's not very long. And if you're looking for something a little different, I think Clockwise might scratch that itch. Then one of my favorites is actually a Face Yourself, one of the best bands. Their releasing schedule has been awesome. Like one EP every 6 months. I think this is the new way probably bands should start releasing music because no one likes the whole entire album thing anymore. And their EP Fury was just fantastic. Everything that I wanted on EP. And Yasmin is one of my favorite vocalists. I don't know how she gets that high when she does those screams. Even I can't even do that. So she's one of my favorites. And the music is just really fun to listen to. Then this next one will be controversial, but I really just don't care at this point. Is Immortal Disfigurement, Hell is Right in Front of Us. It's not a Lorna Shore copy. I know the first 2 songs that they released were kind of tongue in cheek with Lorna Shore song titles and stuff like that, but to me, this EP stands on its own. It could be mixed better, but it's that symphonic epic sound that I get hungry for if I'm not listening to Lorna Shore or something else. The next one is Sinuskia. The escape is called Premonitions. Harry Taylor did produce the symphonic elements on this one. He's also now the guitar player for Worm Shepherd now, which will be releasing new music soon. And this has the vocal Olympics. People don't like that, but for me, it's just really fun. And it's well produced, and the symphonic stuff doesn't overpower the music itself. It just adds more character more flavor, if you will. Then the last one is Vile Significant, called this EP is called Delivered from Madness. It is Harry Tagan's solo project. This EP is about the video game Elden Ring. So I don't play the video game, but the music is everything that I want. Symphonic, epic, very well produced. I mean, this guy knows his stuff. I hope he becomes a big producer in the metal deathcore soon because he's just that good, my personal opinion. So that's my EP list. How about your album list?
My album list. So Creator, Crushers of the World came out January 16th. Um, I don't know. This is one of those things where I'm probably gonna get my butt kicked. I see them as a legacy band, right? So I respect them I put them in on a high pedestal of ivory goddesses. And a lot of people will look at me weird, but I mean, I'm also one of those people, few and far between, who fell in love with metal because of bands like Nile. So the first metal band I ever heard, first metal song in 2003, 4 was Nile. And so
Oh,
I have a deeper consideration for the content and the context and the commonplace. And I mean, 4 decades, right? They're still perfecting sonic demolition. This is thrash wisdom, right?
okay.
I respect it highly. As someone who, I was kind of picky about thrash and I was picky about everything. I was snotty. If it wasn't Odious Mortem or Kill Whitney Dead or Deicide or Dying Fetus or Decrepit Birth, I was just like, oh my God, you're just a poser. Like I was a shithead, about
Yeah.
metal in the beginning. So, there's all this inner rage turned into pep talk. So many great tracks. Megadeth. I don't really know what to even say about it. So January 23rd, it will be dropping. I don't like believing this is the final manifesto. Does that make sense? Whenever bands are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm done," I'm like, "Oh, you're full of shit. You're a liar. You're full of it. You're a liar. There's no, you can't. It's part of your DNA." So it's like any sort of rumor that they're they're done. Like Mustaine is forever. He'll never be great or never not be great. Sorry, never not be great. I don't know. I'm looking forward to greatness as I fully entrench upon it because I think I told you before that I saved these great classic artists for my holiday drives,
Hmm.
but the legacy bands are legacy for a reason and they set the standard and the tonology for the whole industry. Beyond the Black, Break the Silence, January 9th. I don't know, bombastic. It's very, very emotionally committed. Again, I'm an addict to the symphonic stuff, so it kind of had the features of a blockbuster score. It was really heartfelt, the confessions, I don't know. I'm one of those neurotic people that would love to be in the sound booth with the vocalist when he's screaming, just hiding in the corner, even though I know it would throw everything off, but just to have that privilege to just be in the corner listening would be like I'd die like that. That's one of those things where I'm like, this is a moment where I've fulfilled. This is peak. Alter Bridge, January 9th dropped.
Yep.
So this is introspection. Um, I I don't know. I look forward to if they tour this, and obviously I haven't kept up with their intentions as far as tour, but when this dropped, it was like, oh, okay, it's always the quasi underground bands that make you realize that there's still more to learn. There's still more of a release. The soundtrack for when you want to think and headbang at the same time. So it's deep.
Gotcha.
Petra Hope came out January 5th.
So
Resurrection.
ironic.
I know. No, we were barking about it earlier. Like, not a Christian metal fan, but if you can kick ass in a new direction, I'll raise you high. But there's a philosophy handshake in there on this album between like faith and thrash. Um I don't know. It hit me in the feels. It made me sentimental, and I dug it very much. So your turn.
Yeah, I haven't listened to Petra since I was a child, so but I grew up listening to Petra. That's what makes it so hilarious because I grew up listening to all those old Christian rock bands from the 90s, early 2000s. But
Right.
Petra always stuck out. So I remember wholeheartedly when you said I thought it was like, wait, you're talking about the because in my head I'm thinking there's no other band called Petra. There's no way she's talking about that Christian rock band from when I was a child. I know they released a new album. I have to. My
Throw
mom's still a
everyone.
fan of Petra too, so I have to show it to her eventually.
Yeah,
But
it's
my
a
top,
subculture. It's a
yeah,
subculture.
yeah, my top five albums of 2025, and from five to one. Number five is Slaughter Prevail. Grizzly. Alex Terrible is just one of the best vocalists out there right now, one of the best frontmen. I love those masks. If I was rich, I'd probably buy one. Not sure what I'd do with it, but it looked cool. And what I like about this one is there's a song on here based on the anime and manga Berserk, and it has a symphonic feel to it, but it's not like overly bombastic in its sound, but I really like it. And the song with Baby Metal is just catchy as hell. Really can't beat that. It has different sounds. It's not just like the last album where it was just boom, boom, boom. There's songs that are more mid-paced, some songs that are more fast-paced. Not a lot of people like this one, but I really enjoyed it. At number four is Violet Orlando's album Bird Eater. She is a YouTuber slash singer, really talented. Anything she sings is fantastic. She's done covers like from Zombie to Hurt and Toss a Coin to Your Witcher. And she's just fantastic. And this is her first album. I really enjoyed it. It has a bit of a grunge rock thing to it, a little cinematic stuff, some industrial elements here and there because one of her big influences is Marilyn Manson. But if you're looking for another singer to listen to, I recommend her a whole lot. At number three is Angel Maker. This used to be heaven. I cannot wait to see this band again for the third time, and hopefully they'll have copies of this album because I want to buy a CD because I love that artwork. What I like about this one is that it's not boring. It's not repetitive. You got two different vocalists doing two different styles. You can tell when you listen who's who, from Ian to Casey. And lyric wise, it's just like really violent fantasy type thing. I contacted Johnny, who's a guitar player, because he does uh, talk to me sometimes through Messenger if I ask him some questions. I asked if it was a concept album. He said no, but there's couple of songs on here that are connected to their first record, so I thought that was pretty cool, something to go back and listen to that. Then these two are interchangeable because I love them both equally. We got Lorna Shore, I Feel the Everblack Festering Within Me, and we have Whitechapel, Hymns and Dissonance. I can't decide. One day, Whitechapel's number one. The next day, Lorna Shore's number one. The next day, Lorna Shore's number one again. It's both these albums are just the best I listened to last year. Like really satisfying. Whitechapel has always been one of my favorite bands since the MySpace era. I was reading Darkest Day of Man lyrics on MySpace. That's how long I've been listening to Whitechapel, and they've never disappointed. Even their worst album is still pretty solid, which is Mark of the Blade. And lyric wise, I really enjoyed this one. It is a concept record based on, it's a sequel to This Is Exile. So I know for a fact, if you could probably find those Twitch clips of Phil gets really into the concept of the album. It's really good, and I hope he makes a graphic novel slash short film of it. Then, I feel the Ever Black Festering Within Me is that symphonic, really heavy epicness. It's not Pain Remains Part 2. People will say that. This is a whole different listening experience. This album had everything I wanted. It was emotional, it was symphonic, it was the epicness, and Will Ramos is just one of the best vocalists out there, and every time I see him do videos, he just seems like the coolest dude. I've met him once, technically twice, but he's super cool, and the rest of the band is too. So I'm glad I got to meet them when they first did their VIP shows for Pain Remains. So those are my favorite albums of 2025. My ones I'm looking forward to for 2026 are brand new Breaking Benjamin. It better happen. They say it's gonna happen. Brand new Store of the Year in February. Brand new Gloom in the Corner also in February. Those are the three that I'm looking forward to the most. And do you have anything else you want to add before we go into film, TV, and video games?
Be interested to know your opinion of what I said about Will Ramos at Metal Insider. It basically Yeah, I made him sound like the thing. I talked about him like he was the thing. I was like, there's no way that is a human voice making what sounds like gargling knives in a tornado. That's what it sounds like. He makes the sound of the Kraken.
That's awesome. I agree. And I've seen him twice now, so he does all that live. There's no backing tracks or anything, so he
That's
is one
crazy.
of the best out there. And just a nice guy overall.
That's amazing. Okay, into the cinema. The cinema.
Well, first I'll start out with my favorite video game of the year of last year, which is Expedition 33, a Claire Obscure Edition 33. This thing is one of the best stories in video games, some of the greatest music in general. Like one of my favorite songs of last year is just the boss music here, where it's all operatic in French. Kind of like apparently it spoils the plot of the game, which I think is pretty awesome. It's just the music should not be as good as it is on this game. And again, the voice actors: Andy Serkis, Lord of the Rings, Charlie Cox, Daredevil, Ben Starr, Final Fantasy 16, Jennifer English, Baldur's Gate. It just has everything that I like. I usually don't do second playthroughs for video games, but I'm on a second playthrough of this video game. I still haven't finished it yet. I'm also doing like a bunch of side quests and stuff. Again, not something I usually do, but I really loved that game. My favorite film of 2025, I have two that I really liked, was Frankenstein. That's the filmmaking that I miss because I went and saw Lord of the Rings, and it's like nothing will ever top filmmaking for Lord of the Rings. It's just a fact. No matter what I watch this year, is not going to be as good as Lord of the Rings. But Frankenstein is up there because they use real sets. They use very little green screen. They use more practical effects, and it's just a really well told story. I'm not like a huge fan of the original because I don't know much about the original. I watched the original movie like a couple years ago. I really liked that, but Del Toro is one of the best directors out there. Pan's Labyrinth was one of my favorite films growing up, so I really like that. And the one that movie that I really liked too after Frankenstein was called Friendship, Tim Robinson's film with Paul Rudd. If I miss comedy, I miss edgy comedy. We don't get that much anymore. And this movie is bonkers the wall dark comedy. And I really enjoy Tim Robinson stuff. Like if you liked uh, Friendship, check out his sketch show on Netflix. I think you should leave. It's the same humor in his show, The Chair Company, which was on HBO Max. Again, not a shill or anything, but the guy's been writing stuff and doing things that to me are unpredictable. So I really enjoyed that. So that's right. So check out Frankenstein if you haven't on Netflix. I saw it in theaters. If you can see it in a theater somewhere, I'd recommend that. And go stream Friendship if you want absurd comedy.
I love that. Love that. I think you already kind of know. Bone Temple, January 16th. And did you say you had tickets?
I did, but then my friend changed the plan on me the last second.
Okay.
So
So I'm just going to talk about the metal soundtrack. So I mean, obviously all these film scores are majestic for
yes,
dark, symphonic, just the lore of it. But, this time around, I love how I think we were talking about it earlier, how this and Return to Silent Hill, which is out January 23rd, have composition workers. The core of the majesty of these movies are the men who compose them.
yep,
Icelandic and
Japanese.
yeah. So it just I love stuff like that. Going back to like video games earlier, I'm diehard for the Red Dead Redemption soundtrack. That
It's good.
I mean, yes, the extensiveness of it, but you get to
Yes,
different places and it really gives you like if you're someone who grew up with old westerns, oh, or if you just love Cormac McCarthy books, which I am a diehard, it hits the spot. But I look forward to overdoing it with Bone Temple and then Return to Silent Hill. I have not seen Return to Silent Hill yet, but I know because the gentleman who composed it, as I refuse to try to pronounce his name,
yes,
Icelandic, he did the video games. So I just
Japanese.
yes, that's what I look forward to the most. So
because the Icelandic one was Bone Temple, and
Yep.
Japanese is Silent Return of Silent Hill. The director of Return of Silent Hill directed one of my favorite movies called Brotherhood of the Wolf. It is a fantastic period piece with martial arts and horror and action. The dub is really good. The also I watched it in both languages, so it's good. Also, Monica Bellucci was also in that movie too. So if you really liked her, when she was younger, or you like her now and she's older, she's pretty damn hot still. I'm not sure how she can still be so hot for almost being almost grandmother age, but Europeans tend to have better
Genetics.
genes. I don't know what it is. So I
Genetic
like I like
hotness.
her. She was also in the second Matrix movie. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Brotherhood of the Wolf, if you're like a hardcore cinephile, to definitely check that one out. I have the extended version 4K Blu-ray. That's how much I love that movie.
Nice, nice, nice. Well, I'm trying to remember if there was anything we wanted to talk about beyond this point. I think we wanted to get into one current event basically, but I mean, I have no idea how much time we have left.
I
Um,
don't know either.
yeah, I mean, it seems like we're really doing well on time, but
Yes.
I don't know. Are there any sentimental events in metal that are going on right now that really rub you raw or piss you
Not
off or make you laugh or
No, not yet. It's still beginning of the year though. Something's gonna annoy me eventually, or I really like it. Like the most sentimental I can get right now is spend the weekend watching Lord of the Rings, which I did. That's probably the most sentimental thing that I've done. So
that's badass.
because I saw the original movies when I was a child in theaters, so those are like some of the most purest memories I have of my childhood.
Aw. I need to reread the books.
My mom read them to me when I was a kid.
Oh, you have a queen for a mother. I want to meet
She read
her.
Narnia to us
She
too.
knows.
So oh yeah, she's the best.
That's so awesome. All right, well, I guess we can end it.
All right. Well, anyway, I am Z. You might know me from my podcast, Metal Theory Radio. This is our new show called SentimEtal. We haven't decided on a schedule yet, but we're going to have episodes going. And my podcast is still going to be a thing. No, it's not going to stop that. I have like 6 songs already on the last week because some good stuff coming out. I can't wait to share it with you guys. You can follow that on patreon.com/Metal Theory Radio. No paywall. Sign up for free. Get your name shout out at the end of every upcoming episode. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. I'm more active on those two. You can follow me on X if you want to, but at this point, I've pretty much given up on that platform because of their algorithm. And I keep getting a bunch of spam stuff too, so I'm just sick of it at this point. But that's me, and on to my co-host, Jordy.
I am Jordina Bell. You can read my writing at Metal Insider. Um, and I'm Parasantheum on all social networking. And I have a mushy website, WordPress blog, parasantheumart.blog. But yeah, that's me.
Awesome. I'll put everything in the description bomb below because this is going to be uploaded on YouTube. So look there for all of our socials and follow us if you like us, and if you don't like us, that's totally fine too. I completely understand because the idea of having fans to me, even after doing this for 5 years, is ludicrous. That's why I always call everyone listeners, so it doesn't boost my ego. Because all I do is share music. I'm not musically talented of any kind.
Well, I'll get offended and I'll find you and I'll egg your house. So you
Oh,
better like me. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
that's funny. Well, anyway, I am Z, and I am SentimEtal.
Sentimental.
We'll see you guys next time.